Okay, hey, what's going on, everyone? Hope that you're doing well. Make sure that you go check your inbox and see that you have your. Well, I already claimed it, but Doomscar claimants, um, they gave us compensation for the debacle that was last weekend. So make sure to go claim your free mythic. It's a standard mythic from any of the sets that are in standard right now. So pretty good reward there. I wanted to share with you some of the decks that I'm using for Revolving Planeswalk this week because they're super fun. Um, they're based on what I'm using for a green archetype right now. Chances are if I'm playing green, then I'm using six Overlord of the Hauntwoods, Omen Path Journey, and Sunken Citadel. And probably Walk-in Closet, too. Those five cards pretty much make up the majority of what I am basing my decks on in green right now. And it's really a great way to create a lot of gem conversion. So I'll show you what I do here while I play. Um, got Threats Undetected is a good one because it's going to bring out cards that we want here. So Threats Undetected brings out a free Vraska. Don't need Zurgo and Ojutai right now. But then also brings out a Overlord of the Hauntwoods. So Impending is pretty good for these cards because it makes them so cheap, right? And then that makes it so that I can just get my things on the board without having to worry about spending a lot of mana on them. Because a lot of times I just want them on the board and I'm not necessarily using them a lot for the damage that they're going to do. But they will build up, don't worry. This is an annoying battle because of the stun counter thing. But we'll stun him back. Okay. Stole my Overlord, which is annoying. But we'll see what we can do about it. Sure. The Overlord is disabled, but maybe we can just replace it with something here. And yeah, every time I put a land on the board, I'm seeding gems and destroying my library. So that's really helping me put things in the graveyard that I can then bring back. Let's get another Threats Undetected and get an Overlord. Then Omen Path Journey, putting a bunch of Sunken Citadels onto the board. And yeah, we got our Overlord to come back in. Whenever it creates a land, which is on Enter the Battlefield, it's seeding a gem. So, don't need that. Probably don't need Zurgo and Ojutai anymore because I hit my objectives and every time I destroy one of my little everywhere land tokens, that's going to be stealing things from my opponent. So we pretty much just lock them down right here unless they find a way to wipe my side of the board, which you never know, might happen sometimes. that. These are those everywhere tokens um, triggering. The only thing is you're creating a ton of seed gems for your opponent too, is the only sort of weakness we got here. But at this point, there's not much they can do anymore. So we're just stealing all their stuff pretty much every turn. Oh, that's good. Putting flying and hexproof on Vraska is very nice. Kalina the Telepath, that's pretty good. Donate Geralf. Grab my Omen Path Journey, why not? Not that we need it at this point. So yeah, that is one of my favorite green decks to run right now. I would do something different with it if I wasn't trying to get objectives there, but that's part of the reason I threw in Vraska and Zergo and Ojutai um, just for those objectives there. Oh, let's move on to my Teferi L. Jackson deck. This is what we got going on with it. It's a little bit of a slower deck, but it has a lot of control in it and a lot of things that move along with it. So the battles take a little longer than I normally like, but it's a pretty safe deck in most cases. As with anything, if the opponent gets a fast start on you, it might take a little time to recover, but it shouldn't be the end of the world with this deck. So I'll show you as we go. Just notes about the deck. So I don't need a Buelo right now, so I'll go ahead and discard it. Oh, we got another one back and a Knight, so that's fine. Get Danitha going. And an Aegis, why not? Phenomenon Investigators. Phenomenal card. So let's place you. Option B. Almost always option B. So we could either copy my Danitha, or I could copy my Phenomenon Investigators. Depending on where I am in the battle, is what I will choose to go with. Right now, we got our pieces up, so we're just going to continuously build up our Danitha there. And this is also cool. Abuelo at the end of the turn, if we need to, we can just blink our Phenomenon Investigator in and get some extra cards. We got ourselves an Atraxa. And that's one of the fun things you can do with this deck. If you kidnap something with Abuelo, oh, forgot about that. But if you kidnap something with Abuelo, then you can exile it and then put your own creature from your exile back into play. So that can be really a nice thing to make sure that you have some control in your deck. So exile target non-token creature. Since it auto casts, I might as well use it on Phenomenon Investigators. Kidnap down. Blade. I guess I probably should have grabbed an Assimilation Aegis, but oh well. Cryptics. I think I just need more cards in my hand instead. Oh shoot. Put desert on the battlefield. Interesting. We will go ahead and save ourselves for a turn here. Save our Parting Gust. Okay, now they're playing their own Assimilation Aegis. Let's see if we can get a Requisition Raid. Hmm. And they got a Starfield? Starfield and Desert. Okay, so we really need to make sure that we have that Requisition Raid happening here. There we go. Okay. Let's get some mana into that. Let's see if we can do something here. Not quite. Okay, all we need is one white or blue match to win here. Okay, never mind. We got that instead. Alright, so that was a little bit of an annoying battle there, but we had enough to get us over the edge there. And yeah, that was fine. But yeah, there's a lot of fun control in that deck that I really like. So it's a nice deck for that node. This is a new deck that I've been messing around with lately. New Kaito just because, I had deck slots for building this. So this is a toxic deck that basically runs on Persuasive Interrogators, Prologue to Pheresis, and Inexorable Tide. But the thing that inspired me to create this is the Tale of Tamio. Destroy the top two cards of your library. Do it again. And then return the first four cards from your graveyard to your hand. Those cards gain half their mana rounded down. So the other half is meant to be filled by Follow the Bodies. And so it's sort of a semi-looping deck, but the win con is basically toxic. So once the loop gets going, you're pretty close to winning most of the time. It's a nice little cascade there. Uh, it went right into a fall of bodies, which is not what I wanted to play, but oh well. Oh, a rat deck. Don't see a lot of those. Hmm. This one might be a pain. Okay, we get a 5 swap there at least. Okay, Tail Tameo. Brain Surge is an awesome card. Let's get rid of that. See if we got any black cards to grab. Grab Prologue to Pheresis. Hmm. Dang. Okay, what are they playing here that's bringing a... Oh, that's a good idea. I kind of like that. Okay, well, we got some cool stuff happening here with our hand, so let's see what we can do with what we got. Um, see if we can get into that inexorable tide first. Nice, perfect. Tale of Tameo is going to trigger every time I cast a card. So we're hopefully going to be getting things out of our graveyard as we go. Let's destroy their green matches. Collect evidence. Doesn't always fill cards up, which is kind of annoying, but if we can get Sten on the board, that will reduce the cost of the cards in my hand, so that will um, make fun stuff happen. Need the Kaito. Brain Surge. Let's do Leyline. Yeah. Destroy more gems. Protection. So it doesn't always loop this nicely, but we just want to make sure we do lethal toxicity here. Interesting. Now we're converting to enlisted gems, which is weird to see with a blue black planeswalker, but it's pretty fun. So I'll just end this at the next loop timer. I think you guys get the gist. Yes. Attack. And there you have it. Lethal Toxic Death Loop. I'm curious as to what I got my what it got up to. So this deck obviously wasn't built to hit objectives there. I don't think I would loop if I had the right cards for it. So this is just kind of a little bit of a showcase for that deck, and I just had a place to put it in. So that's what I did there. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of that deck. I don't think Greg would be very good at looping it, but with capable hands, it does very well. So here's another one. Similar sort of thing with green, where we got 6, Overlord of the Hauntwoods, Owen Pat Journey, Sunken Citadel. Oh, we got a chat here. Cool to see some new looping ideas. Yeah. I saw an interesting combo with Steamcore Skull and Wizard class. Have you used that at all? I think I've used it a little bit in one of the events that makes you. It's a legacy event that makes you cast a bunch of spells to hit objectives, and I think I've used it there. Steam Core Scholar is great. That loyalty generation and mana generation that you get from drawing cards is just really useful in Legacy as well. So I can't think of any decks off the top of my head that do that, but um, I'm sure they're I'm sure that I have one or two. I would have to dig it up and maybe do it on the next live stream. Okay, so we got Gather Pack, Temple Discovery, and Demolition Field. Pretty good starting hand. Not a lot of great gem matches there for our colors, but hopefully don't set up any for my opponent, but I just did. Which is always annoying when you end up setting all your good matches for your opponent. But we will try and change our luck here. Okay, we're getting 2-5 matches in a row. Always good to see. So luck kind of swings around in your favor and out of it. And you just have to roll with what you get. Do I want to keep all these cards in my hand? Yeah, I think I do. Okay, let's finally get our deck moving here. Template Discovery is almost always worth charging up, even if you have to do it the hard way. Because from there, we get all our other stuff going. So that was Omen Pat Journey, bringing 6 out of my exile into play. Let's also do this. Hit our third ability. Grow our Railway Brawler. Get another Omen Patch Journey. And same thing with the Oko deck. We're just going to be creating a bunch of land tokens because these are everywhere support card land. And 6, when a land support enters the board under your control, just see two gems and destroy the top three cards of your library. When you trigger Leyline, and that's when you match a green gem with swap, return the first non-land creature from your graveyard to play under your control and reinforce it X times. X is the amount of sea gems on the board. So we're going to be destroying a couple of our sea gems there, but at least we have a creature in our graveyard, which I don't know if we did. That's going to bring creatures out. But that was once that deck, once we actually were able to cast the cards in our hand, that was a pretty quick and decisive victory. So that was easy enough to hit reach and trample objectives. Sometimes you might win before hitting that objective, but that doesn't matter too much. Um, and then finally, similar sort of thing with my Domri deck, using 6 Overlord of the Hauntwoods, Gather the Pack, and Sylvan Tutor to get things out on the board for us. Volt Strider, Temple Discovery, and Chaos Warp are going to be helping us get all those cards out. So depending on how we start, um, sometimes this deck doesn't quite get started the way I want it to. Volt Strider, there we go. We want that. Roadrunner down. Awesome. Nice. Temple Discovery. And play that first. Play Chaos Warp. Grab an Oger. Why not? Don't need either of those right now, so we'll just fetch creatures we want instead. Okay, Overlord. Yeah, so we'll put a 6 into play with Sylvan Tutor. That way, when my Overlord hits the board, it will do good things for us. Coalition victory. I was hoping that I would have ramped into it to discard the cards in my opponent's hand that would have gotten the mana from um, Sylvan Tutor, but that's okay. Those everywhere tokens creating gem matches for us. Oh, that's annoying. We definitely want 6 on the board. Let's get a Roadrunner down. Hit objectives. You know, I might not have Omen Path Journey in this deck, which would be a mistake. Not that's necessary, but let's go ahead and do that. Chaos Warp. Oh, get rid of all your dumb supports. Will I win here? I think so. All right. Let me just make sure that Omen Path Journey is in that deck. Because without it, it's just not as good of a deck. Could be better. I'll probably take out Sylvan Tutor for it if I don't have it in here. Yeah, no Omen Path Journey. That is unfortunate. So let us put that in here. So Omen Path Journey just brings out 6 and Sunken Citadel, or either or, every turn, or when I match. Yeah, when this support loses shield. So when I match the gem too. So a lot of times 6 will get destroyed right away because it's just a 2/4 with reach. So Open Path Journey at the end of your turn, a lot of times will just, or at the beginning of your turn, will just bring it right back. So makes it very resilient. Okay, the next ones I will do. I will run through my Emrakul's corruption decks really quickly, show you how they work. This is just a lot of Eldrazi beatdown. It's got Omni in here to make sure that I'm able to cast everything I want. But we got Prismatic Bridge, Demolition Field, Cryptics, Olamog the Defiler, Drowner of Hope, Dasa Deep Dwelling, Emrakul, and Decimator of the Provinces. So all the nastiest Eldrazi and a lot of nasty supports. Don't need spells. This should be enough um, to pretty much dominate. Okay, so we start with an Omni, go into Prismatic Bridge and Olamog. Excellent start. I know I just gave him a 5 match, but at least it's in white, so it's not going to do much for him. So we've already hit objectives there. Sure. Yeah, 5 match going. Another Omni. All right. Toss a Deep Dwelling so that we can just get Emrakul, slowing them down every turn. Ulamog just getting rid of everything on their side every turn as well. So if you don't have Omni, this deck can function without it, but it just speeds everything up. Here's another one with Garruk Apex Predator. This might be a difficult battle against a Grist. But here's what we got. Our vampires, Jaleva, Galton Mavrin. Galton Mavrin on its own will hit you objectives. Jaleva is just a solid vampire to grab the spells we want. And then we got a bunch of good spells in here. In Rakdos and Ulamog are there for defense. And we just got to make sure that we have the spells we want every turn. So let's get Jaleva on the board. That's good. Try and make sure that she does not get wiped away before we're able to take advantage of her ability. Okay, this is good. Let's see if we can Hour of Promise into a Temple Discovery. Yeah, I think this is fine enough. Play. Get Hour of Promise. Grab a Rishkar's Expertise. See if we can ramp into a Rush of Dread and get rid of whatever is in their hand that we don't want them to play. Garruk Apex Predator has great mana gains in green, so makes him an excellent choice for this event. Temple Discovery, sure. Another Jaleva. Okay. Coalition victory. See if we can hit that on this turn. That would be great. We'll keep Ulamog in our hand until we need it. And then from here, we just pump up our Jaleva. Grist can't even use her second ability on me because I don't have any non-token supports out. And I never will because this deck is meant to hit objectives, which means we don't play supports in it. Reinforce each creature we control twice. Speed up a win. I think they're really trying to get to the third ability, but not necessary. Or not effective at this point. a nice prime example of beastie beatdown. You can sometimes get a solid little loop going if you ramp into Coalition Victory, the Victory banner, doing fun things for you there. Um, Drawing into a bunch of conversion spells and just keeping that going. Doesn't loop for that long, but loops long enough. All right, so here's our last deck here. Summon 2 or more werewolves during a single fight. Cast 2 or less creatures during a single fight. So going with my all-time favorite werewolf, Ulrich of the Crawling Horde. A bunch of ways to fetch it into play. Vivian's Invocation, Turn Timber Symbiosis, all that. Emrakul's Corruption of Taunts for Misery, Talent for Creator in Mind. I like this event, but I play this. I am one of the people that makes Legacy miserable for other people. So I've been playing this event for such a long time that I pretty much just play it mindlessly at this point. But yeah, so Ulrich and her third ability on her flip side will help us hit objectives here. If we end up with Ulrich in our hand, we just toss it like so. Actually, I'll save it just in case. I guess we could put the Desolate Mire in first. Do we got anything on our side? Playing starter Nissa though, so I'm gonna be careful not to win too quickly. It's demo field. Oh wait, did I get a demo field already? No, it was Desolate Mire. Okay, we'll do that. But we'll also get an Ulrich going if we can too. The other people in here need to start dropping donations and say you use the webcam. Your moms will be grateful. Also get them to watch his streams. I have a webcam, but I most of the time don't want to show myself on camera. It's something God forces me into. Terrible person. Temp with Discovery. Okay, so I'm mostly playing it to get the loyalty that I need to get the werewolf into play. Don't want to fetch him. Like Cosby doesn't pay you. Yeah, exactly, right? He doesn't need to. He got me to be a sponsored creator, so that's payment enough. Did I hit my objectives yet? No, I just need to play one more. Oops. Don't mean to do that. And she flipped too, so that's annoying. It's really the thing that holds her back from being a top tier walker. Yeah, nerd's mom's number. That is so funny. Not a lot of great matches here, but we did hit objectives, so. Uh, there, I guess. Oh, I didn't expect to be able to play that card right now, so we win. 4 wolf tokens, sure. Thank you, Nalthazar. Same to you. Okay, well, that just showcased all the decks that I wanted to share with you for now. Gotta get my day going here. So, thank you all for hopping on and keeping me company while I do my daily tasks of playing this game. So, um, as I get more cards and think of new things, I will share with you. Until then, I'll see you in the next stream or wherever. um, oh, yeah, before I go, um, I am working on a little um, non gameplay related video where I'm ranking all the standard sets in terms of like or which ones have the best chase cards, which ones to spend your resources on, and yeah, I'll have that out in the next week or so, I think. So keep a lookout for that one. And yeah, if you guys have other ideas for videos like that you want to see that aren't just showcasing decks and planeswalkers and all that, I'm always up for hearing the ideas. I don't always have the time or resources or feel like I'm the best person to tackle those ideas, but I'll do my best. If I come up, if I get a good suggestion for things, then I'll try and do my best to make it happen. So, yeah, see you then. All right, yeah. And thanks again, Nalthazar, for hanging out.